Welcome back to the channel, where we break down police encounters, protect civil rights, and demand real accountability. In today's episode, Auditor Claude is outside a police headquarters, filming perfectly lawfully from public land, when an inspector storms over like he's caught a crime in progress. Out come made-up laws, backed by two officers piling on with pure hostility, all desperate to intimidate Claude into backing down. But when the bluff fails, they push it further, abusing Section 50 to justify an arrest with zero legal basis. The thing is, Claude doesn't fold. Instead, he flips the script, turning their abuse into a full-blown legal battle. And instead of taking the easy payout, he drags them into court to hold them accountable for real.
I'm just a little bit concerned as to why you're filming inside Sussex police premises.
Well, first of all, can you actually identify yourself properly for me?
Yeah, of course. My name's Inspector Simon Barden. I'm one of the duty inspectors up in our
Inspector?
Simon Barden.
Simon Barden, okay.
So I work in the Force Contact Control Room, so we're just wondering why you're stood on our property filming into...
No, I'm stood on public property.
Okay.
So let's verify that.
But you're filming into private property?
It makes no difference.
It does.
Why is that? What law am I breaking?
Because you're filming private property and you haven't...
It makes no difference.
Well, it does. You can't film into private property.
Yes, I can.
Okay, under what law?
Okay. The law is I can film whatever I can see in public. Okay, you can't trespass the eye.
From the very first exchange, the inspector shows just how far out of his depth he really is. In the UK, there is no law that prevents someone from filming a building or vehicles from a public space. An inspector, someone expected to lead by example, should know that without hesitation. But when Claude pushes back, the inspector makes it even worse by demanding, under what law? That's not just ignorance, it's a complete reversal of the principle. The public doesn't need a law to justify filming in public. It's the officers who need a lawful basis to restrict it. Case law, along with Article 10 of the European Convention on Human Rights, makes it crystal clear: photography and filming in public are protected activities. Any officer worth their badge should know that.
But there are staff members that are coming in. You're putting their security at risk because you could potentially...
I'm not putting anyone's security at risk.
But you could be, couldn't you?
No, that's a presumption. Okay, I'm not doing anything wrong.
No, it's not a presumption because I said you could. I didn't say you were.
Okay.
I said you could be. So that's not a presumption. That's me suggesting that you could be.
Okay. And how would I be putting their safety at risk then?
So what are you doing with those films?
Works for personal use.
Okay. What personal use? Are you going to be sharing those online?
I don't know. Whatever personal use I wish.
Okay. So what is the purpose of you being here today, would be my question.
The police is a public service.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm here to actually record what the public pay for.
Okay, but this isn't a police station, this is police headquarters.
It makes no difference. The public still pay for it.
Okay, I don't understand what you're trying to achieve though, because if you want to make sure...
I'm not trying to achieve anything, I'm just filming what the public pay for.
Okay, but if you're trying to prove that the public are paying and getting value for service, surely you'd be better...
I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all.
So what did you say?
Okay, I said I'm just here to film what the public pay for. That's it.
Okay, for what reason?
My own reason.
When the inspector falls back on the tired line about a security threat, it exposes just how little substance he actually has. Security can't just be a buzzword officers throw around when they've run out of legal footing. To restrict someone's rights, there has to be reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. Not a hunch. Not a feeling. Not simple discomfort at being filmed. That standard exists for a reason. It's written into pace and reinforced through decades of case law. Because if policing ran on feelings, every single person could be treated like a suspect. Claude nailed it with the perfect response: feelings aren't the law. And the inspector's failure to identify any concrete threat only proved the point. He wasn't conducting a risk assessment, he was just scrambling to cover his own lack of knowledge. That's why he resorted to childish deflection, snapping back with "Have you answered my questions?" instead of giving a real answer. And
do you come here regularly and do this?
That's irrelevant.
Okay. I feel like I've come down to have a conversation with you and engage with you. And
yeah,
you're
you're not
particularly willing to engage.
Yeah, but that conversation is irrelevant. Okay, that's called fishing for information.
It's not called fishing. It's called engaging with someone. It's called.
Yeah, I'll have a conversation about whatever you want. Okay, but whether or not, I've been here or not, or whether or not I'm actually filming, I'm just doing exactly what I'm perfectly lawfully allowed to do.
What my concern would be is that, do you pose a security threat?
Okay, your concern and what the law is are two different things.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Okay, your feelings and what you feel is not the law. Okay, right. What I'm doing is perfectly lawful.
Not if you pose a security threat.
In what way? You still haven't answered that.
Have you answered my question?
Okay, you still haven't answered that.
Have you answered my question?
I don't need to answer your question.
And I don't need to answer your questions.
Okay.
The moment the two constables arrive, the whole defence collapses under its own weight. They claim that staff entering and leaving HQ are somehow alarmed and distressed by Plaude's filming. But case law has long established that police, because of the very nature of their work, are expected to face a higher threshold of challenge and discomfort. Trying to sidestep that, the constables scramble with the excuse that these are staff in plain clothes, driving their own cars. But that changes nothing. They're still entering and exiting police premises, tied directly to policing functions, and representing the institution Plaude is auditing. That connection is exactly why Section 5 doesn't apply in the way they're suggesting. You don't get to clock out of accountability just because you're not in uniform. If you're on police property and acting in connection with policing, you are part of the system. And being part of the system means you don't get to cry harassment just because someone with a camera made you uncomfortable.
Are you recording police vehicles? Are you recording information on police staff?
I'm recording whatever I can see.
Bear with me a second.
Why are you filming here?
Because I'm well within my legal rights to do so.
But why?
It's a public service that the public pay for.
Have you a keen interest in the police?
Okay, I have an interest in all public services.
So you do this on a regular basis?
Okay, that's irrelevant.
Well, rather than filming us, why don't you ask us some questions and if you're interested in the police...
First of all, okay, if I had been approached correctly, okay, then I would have, okay, but your inspector hadn't, okay. You've come out, you've made an allegation, okay, towards me. No, you did. You made an allegation that your staff, okay, are alarmed and distressed, okay.
Yes,
you should know, as a constable, okay, you should not be alarmed and distressed.
Any person can feel harassment, alarm and distress.
Not when you're an officer. It is case law, and you cannot. You cannot be.
But let me speak. Let me get my point across so you can get yours. Okay?
I can film whatever the eye can see, sir.
Okay, but listen to what I'm saying. Okay, you've just said what you want, so let me speak. Okay, members of staff leaving this building, this facility, in their plain clothes, in their own car, you filming them has caused them alarm, harassment and distress. Okay? They're not on duty as police officers, so they can feel alarm and distress.
The two constables quickly fall back on the same tired excuse the inspector tried earlier, calling Plaude a security threat. Their reasoning? That is filming staff registration plates. But Plaude dismantles that instantly. Number plates aren't secret. They're a legal requirement to be displayed in public, openly visible to anyone walking down the street. Calling that a security threat is pure fantasy. What makes their claim even weaker is the obvious fact that police themselves have full access to registration details through the DVLA and their own systems. If anyone can check plates, it's the officers, not the public. So trying to frame the filming of something already visible in the public domain as suspicious isn't just weak, it's absurd. It exposes the tactic for what it really is, stretching security into a catch-all excuse whenever they don't like being recorded.
Big security risk.
From that here all the way round inside this property, okay, I can film.
Doesn't matter. When we book off our system off duty, we're off duty. However, what we are going to clarify is whether what you're standing on is private land. So
it's publicly accessible.
No.
It's publicly accessible under Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act.
We're going to find out whether this part that you're standing on is private.
But then if you can show me the actual signs that state private property along there, okay, no public access, then fine, I will move on. Okay, but there are no signs, and it's publicly accessible.
What is your name, young man?
It's irrelevant.
You've clearly come here for an argument.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
Being here, then?
Because I want to film.
Film what? Film what?
Okay, what the public pay for.
Leaving the building.
No, I'm filming what I can see. Okay.
Well, what you're doing is you're filming people leaving in their personal vehicles. Okay. That's not exciting.
And
a security threat?
No, how is that a security threat? That's a presumption.
Do you not see what happens in the world?
That's a presumption.
You're not seeing what's happening in the world?
Okay, yeah, but that is a presumption, okay?
It's not a presumption.
And where you just said, okay, about to do with license plates, okay? License plates are in the public domain, okay? You guys have access to that information.
You're putting that on YouTube, you're not specifically...
Who said that? Who said that? Whoa. Hang on a minute. Whoa, hang on. No. You said that. I haven't said it. No, don't shout at me.
Listen to me.
Do not shout at me. No, don't shout at me.
So let me have my piece.
Please do not shout at me.
Let me have my piece then.
Yeah, as long as you don't shout at me.
This is the moment the officer completely abandoned professionalism. After being out-argued on every point of law, he stepped into Plaude's personal space, crowding him without cause. That isn't policing, it's intimidation. Officers are trained to de-escalate and maintain safe distance, not weaponize their physical presence when the law isn't on their side. Leaning in, the officer warns, "Don't touch me." But Plaude hadn't laid a finger on him. That wasn't a warning, it was bait. A preemptive excuse, setting the stage to flip the blame if things kicked off. By engineering a situation where even accidental contact could be twisted into assaulting police, the officer revealed his real goal, not upholding the law, but trapping Claude.
You are a public servant, okay? I am here as a member of the public to film public property, okay, and a public service that the public pay for, okay? I'm doing a completely lawful activity, okay? I'm breaking no law, I'm committing no crime, right? And I shall carry on about my business, okay? If you decide that you want to harass me, then you carry on and do that, sir.
The issue you have...
Could you step back a little bit,
what
please?
you're doing is you're causing our colleagues harassment, alarm and distress.
Would you mind stepping back a little bit,
okay?
please?
You're causing our colleagues harassment, alarm and distress.
Would you mind stepping back a little bit, please?
Okay. Why don't you step back further over there to
No,
the pavement
because
over
I
there?
moved to here and you came to me. Okay?
I'll come
just
to you.
Because you're...
Because it's strange, and I'm asking you why you're filming.
And you walk to me.
I'm asking you why you're
filming. If you don't want to be that close to someone, then don't walk up to them that way.
Listen to me for a minute.
Okay? If you ask your colleague to step back, I will talk with you. No, he's walked right the way up. Now, this is me feeling alarm and distress.
He's not in your personal space.
Yes, he is. Okay? He's well within an arm's reach.
Don't touch me.
I didn't touch you.
The inspector's return should have restored order. Instead, he doubled down on nonsense. Then he pulled out Section 50, and that's where it got outrageous. Section 50 only applies if there are reasonable grounds someone's committing antisocial behavior against the public. Claude was just filming on public land. No public in sight, no disruption. The inspector either didn't know the law, or he abused it. When Claude refused his details, they arrested him. That wasn't policing. That was punishment for saying no, but Claude didn't fold. He rejected a settlement and dragged the inspector to court. Now the case could cost the force thousands, and put the inspector's actions on record as unlawful. From the start, he exposed his own ignorance. Instead of leading, he copied his constables. Instead of de-escalating, he escalated.
Touch me and you get arrested for assault.
I did not touch you, so let's get that right. I did not touch you.
Don't touch me.
Okay?
Touch me and you get
I
arrested
did not
for assault.
touch you, so you need to be quiet on that one. Okay? Don't tell me I touched you when I did not touch you.
Don't touch me.
I did not touch you. It's all on camera.
Do you understand?
Okay? I did not touch you. Don't tell me do I understand.
Try and touch me.
Okay? Do not tell me, okay? Right? He's got a real attitude problem. Yes, he has.
If you'd like to talk to me for a second, that's great.
fine.
Okay. So I just wanted to clarify some things. You're right, this is a public area. You are entitled to film here. However, your behaviour is causing our staff harassment, alarm and distress.
Who's that then?
So we've had members of our staff complaining about you, filming them, leaving the premises, and that Police Reform Act 2002. I'm going to ask you to provide me your details,
Okay,
your name
right.
and address.
Now, I will actually state this, okay? Under Section 50,
Yep.
okay, the Police Reform Act,
Yep.
okay, there has to be a member of the public within 150 metres of me.
No, there
okay?
doesn't.
Yes, they
No,
do.
there doesn't,
okay?
because the
Right, you will not be getting my details.
So if you refuse to provide those
Okay.
details, you're liable to be arrested.
You will not get my details. I'll tell you that straight, because
That's
I've
fine.
done nothing wrong.
That's fine. I'm going to ask you again. You have.
Okay.
You've caused our staff harassment, alarm, distress.
And I'm going to tell you no.
There is concern around your behaviour and how it's making our staff feel.
And I'm going to tell you
make
no.
that request from you to provide me with your name
And I'm going to
address.
tell you no, because I've done nothing wrong.
You're under arrest.
Okay, right. Hang on. Just before you go, would you mind just reading my wrist, please?
They weren't policing the law. They were policing their feelings, and that's the real story. This wasn't one bad call. It was a culture where excuses come before accountability. The thin veneer of security and distress was nothing but a mask for ignorance, and Claude tore it off with ease. By rejecting the settlement, he's making sure those failures get tested under the harsh light of court. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me keep bringing you independent coverage. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.